Hello, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. In this video, we are going to talk about why do people get close and then ghost. This was actually a question that someone asked me on Instagram. On Instagram, I often tell people when I'm going to be filming YouTube videos and I ask for suggestions. So if you'd like to tell me what you'd like me to film, definitely follow me on Instagram. The link should be somewhere in my banner on YouTube. It's also Shelly Bullard Love is my Instagram handle. Before I jump into this video, I want you to know that my course, Free Yourself, is on sale right now. This is an amazing course that will teach you exactly how to overcome your triggers in relationships. And the point of it is when you start overcoming your triggers inside of yourself, meaning you learn how to deal with when you feel triggered, guess what's going to happen? You're going to stop creating situations in your 3D reality where you feel triggered. So this is how reality works. When you change, your reality changes. So that's what this course will teach you to do. If you find yourself getting caught and feeling left or abandoned or not loved or rejected, anything like that, Free Yourself is definitely an amazing course for you, and it's on sale right now for 45% off. If you want to check it out, the link is directly below in my description. Okay, let's talk about this. Why do people get close and ghost? There are two specific things I want to talk about in this video. The first thing is people are acting and responding from their wounded self all the time. This includes us. So if you have ever been triggered and you do something crazy because of it, let's say you do crazy detective work, that's what I call it in my course, Free Yourself, when you start stalking someone and trying to figure out where they are and if they're online, that is, you're doing something like that because you are acting from feeling wounded within. You're feeling hurt within. You don't feel good within. So you start kind of acting in a way that, isn't great, doesn't feel good to you, maybe even could be harmful in a particular way. Like this is what happens when we are wounded, and we all have we all have wounds to a certain extent, and we start reacting from those wounds, we start doing things that can hurt other people. There's that saying, and I have no idea who originally said it, but it's a brilliant saying. It's hurt people hurt people. So when someone is ghosting you, I just want to say up front, they are acting from some sort of trigger inside of them. That 100% is true. Why do I know that is true? Because we don't do things that blatantly hurt other people or that are just really irresponsible with other people's feelings when we're also not in some sort of trigger, or we could even call it like some sort of disconnection from our true self. I'll just call it that. What do I mean by that? When you're acting from kind of a lower self concept, that's when you do things that hurt other people. If you were acting from a higher self concept, you just wouldn't act that way, okay? So when people do things like ghost or run away or, like abandon you without talking to you, I want you to first know, and there's a second piece to this that I'm going to get into, but I want you to first know that that person is in their own kind of triggered or wounded story of some sort. This doesn't mean they're triggered by you necessarily, in the sense that it doesn't mean they're feeling the same thing that you are feeling, but it means that they are scared of something. They're feeling some sort of trigger. So just want to put that out there, that we have to remember that when people do things that hurt us, it actually is more about them than about us. That can be very hard for us to remember in the experience, which is why I created Free Yourself, so you can work through the trigger when it happens, because no one likes to feel triggered. It's really uncomfortable, but it is a case of a hurt person hurting you. So that's number one. Number two, why do people get close and then ghost you? This is maybe the harder answer, but it also is the answer that you can do something about. Because they're playing out the thing you're most scared of. That's why, because you're creating a reality where you get left. Why are you creating a reality where you get left? Because you have a belief system that you're going to be left. You have a belief system that you're not going to be shown up for. You have a pattern or an energetic imprint, we can even call it, a belief system, a subconscious belief that says, I'm going to be left in relationships I'm not going to be shown up for. Deep down, sometimes we are not fully aware that we have this belief system, yet if you have the pattern over and over again of getting ghosted or not being shown up for or being left at a particular time in a relationship, there is a belief system in you that this is how relationships are going to go. And because somewhere inside of you, and when I say belief system, I don't mean just a thought. I mean a full embodied belief system. It can be even more of a somatic and emotional belief system of fear inside of you that you are going to be left in relationships. And because that's what you believe is going to happen to you, that's what you expect is going to happen on some level, you keep creating relationships and experiences in relationships where that happens. While that is hard information to receive, in particular when we first realize this, it's also very empowering because it means that if you're creating relationships where you are left, you can create relationships where you're not left. It's all being created through you. And how is it being created through you? Through your belief system, what you believe is going to happen to you. So the way to create a reality where you no longer are ghosted is we have to shift the belief system that says, I'm going to be left. Shifting the belief system happens in multiple ways. One of the ways it happens is you learning to show up for yourself. That is always the primary way to shift what happens in relationships. You have to look at, how am I showing up for myself? Am I showing up for myself in a way that is similar to how I would want someone else to show up for me? So if I start to feel triggered, am I choosing to do the work to love myself through that, to see what's going on for myself, to learn to talk to my inner child and tell them that they're okay and I'm here for them? Am I doing that work that I would love for someone else to do for me? Am I doing that? That's a first place to start. You also have to shift your belief system about what you're going to receive in relationships. Like you have to create a new truth about what is going to happen for you in relationships. It's hard to create the new truth before you do that first step of starting to show up for yourself. The showing up for yourself is what calms your nervous system. It's very hard to create a new belief if your nervous system is still on fire and erupted and triggered. We have to learn how to somatically calm down and feel somewhat centered. And from that centered place, you then can create a new belief system that says, that's not my truth anymore. My truth is I'm fully shown up for and fully loved. This is all a deeper process. It doesn't happen in one affirmation or even repeating the same affirmation over and over again. Because there's a somatic component, which means, there's a body element to it. What I mean by that is, if you've ever been triggered, you know that there is very much a way that it feels in your body. There is a fear or an anxiety that erupts in your body. Because of that, we have to address that. So the work is, you can do the work. Again, in this video, the way I'm speaking about it is it's about showing up for yourself, learning to love yourself through the trigger as it erupts, and also learning to create a new story about what's going to happen to you. All of that is possible for you. You just have to choose to do the work. That's it. You have to choose to do this work. If you want to know how to do it in a step-by-step way, the way I've laid out in my course for yourself, that's a great option for you because it will tell you exactly what to do. You also can piece this together on your own and learn how to do it for yourself. That is fine as well. But we have to change the story of who we are and what's going on inside of us to change the 3D reality. And you can create a new reality where you don't get ghosted The other option of that as well, and sometimes this option happens first, then the reality of you not getting ghosted will happen afterwards. You also create a reality where you being ghosted doesn't faze you that much. That's because you start knowing who you are. You know what you're going to receive. You know what you will not tolerate anymore in relationships. And from that place, you will create a new reality where you stop being ghosted by the person you love. Okay? Thank you so much for being here with me in this video. If you want to dive into my course for yourself, it's on sale for a couple more days. It's an amazing journey for you to really unhook yourself from these triggers, okay? You have the power to do that. I'm here to support you with that. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye.